time for the finals at the Combine Demolition Derby. Justin Miller gets off to a good start, moving and hitting with wild abandon. But around the 5-minute mark, twin crippling blows to both sides ends Justin's chance for victory. Meanwhile, Matt continues his domination in the finals. It's his first derby and he's whipping his combine and the crowd into a frenzy. With the clock ticking down, only 2 combines remain. Matt Miller's Jaws and the Rumblebee, driven by Dennis Starring. Like giant metallic gladiators, they back up, then ram headfirst into each other 4 times. When the horn finally sounds, both combines are still running. This year's Combine Demolition Derby ends in a well-deserved tie.
Hell yeah!
Yeah! How's it feel?
Feels great!
Yeah!
Feels real good!
Monster Nation! It's drag racing, but it's not the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the Nitro Nationals in Alastaro, Finland.
In Finland nowadays we have 22 categories, starting from junior dragsters and then all the way up to top fuelers.
American top fuelers race at speeds neighboring 300 miles per hour, but here in Finland, they're not quite as fast. All classifications of cars and bikes race for their best time. But there's one racer who's actually more comfortable on skis. And what a car! It's a Pro Stock Chevy V8 358 cubic inch engine. It has over 900 horsepower and can reach speeds of over 175 miles per hour. In drag racing, cars first roll up, then burn out. This melts the tire's rubber, creating a sticky surface that will keep the wheels on the ground. Then when the Christmas tree hits green, the drivers race down the quarter-mile straightaway. John's competitor is Petri Pakuri, who's already qualified in a previous heat.
But I don't have a good time. I'm now on 7th place and that's not good.
He's got the race schedule showing who he has to beat, and John is definitely on the list. But first, they've got to beat the rain.
It looks very bad right now. Only thing what we can do is waiting.
But once the track is dry, folks are back out and racing gets underway. John finally gets his turn on the track. He rolls up and burns out. He reaches 182 miles an hour in 7.3 seconds for the day's best time in the Pro Stock Top Fuel class. Then it's Petri's turn. He reaches 174 miles an hour in 7.8 seconds. Not enough to beat John. Unfortunately, neither John nor Petri will have a chance to race in the finals. The rain has returned, and the rest of the day's events are canceled. But it's not about who wins or loses, it's about boldness and attitude. We found it at Finland's Nitro Nationals, and who knows where we'll find it next. In our never-ending quest to find the nation's hottest cars, our crew found themselves at the Steer-In, located in Spokane, Washington.
Monster Nation rules.
Hot rodders gather here every Wednesday night for a little conversation and a lot of showing off.
Everything is monster about this car. The color just draws in the ladies. It's a lady killer car.
While these hot rods have definitely got the look, up here in Spokane, the name of the game is speed.
Got a 454 in it, 250 horse nitrous plumb through it.
Special high performance package, 425 horsepower, 409.
Pump gas, probably about 700-800. Race fuel will be 1100.
That's right. He just said 1,100 horsepower. That's twice as much as a brand new Ferrari. So how fast does it go?
I don't know. I can never look down and see. It's just a matter of how fast you want to go. You can keep it straight, keep it on the ground. Keep it on the ground.
No doubt about it, Spokane is a hotbed of hot rodders. That's why we hooked up with this guy, Tim Stromberger. Tim designed and built the 2004 National Hot Rod of the Year. We wanted to check out his award-winning creation, so Monster Nation took a ride with him. When we arrived at Tim's shop, we found 4 amazing cars. Which one do you think is the Hot Rod of the Year? Is it this 350 full-blown Chevy Malibu? Or how about this cherry red nitrous-fueled dragster? Or maybe the hot rod champion is this beautiful 1955 Chevy Bel Air. Or how about this customized 36 Airflow? So which one do you think is America's Hot Rod of the Year? It's this one, the Airflow.
This is a car we just recently completed. It's a 1936 Chrysler Airflow. It's had numerous body modifications.
Numerous modifications is right. Tim nearly built this Airflow from scratch. It's now worth over $400,000.
As you can see, the doors are suicided, meaning they open backwards from the way they originally did. The top's been chopped about 1.5 inches. The B-pillar here has been angled. It's been sectioned from nothing right here to 3 inches in the front to make the whole front end of this car lower. The fenders are all molded to the body and the running boards are all handmade.
Everything about the Airflow is stunning, from the modified V10 Viper engine to the completely custom retro-styled interior. There's even a 22-inch plasma screen in the trunk, used for entertainment at car shows. Tim built the Airflow for this guy, Jack White.
It's amazing today because there are people, and even in a market the size of Spokane, that can do just about anything from a technical standpoint, but also from the artist standpoint. I mean, the body lines and the paint are extraordinary, I think.
Everything on this baby is shiny, polished, and plated, even its undercarriage.
The back brakes are not on the wheels, they're actually in here, right? I've never seen that before.
They're called inboard disc brakes. You can see the calipers and the rotors are right here hooked to the center section, which means it makes it handle better because the less weight that's out here on the wheels, the better the suspension works. So this is kind of designed after an old XKE Jaguar. They were very similar to this, not near as shiny, but it was essentially the same design.
Tim's hard work paid off when the Airflow won the grand prize at the 2004 Darrell Starboard National Rod and Custom Car Show.
There was almost 1,000 cars there, and out of those 1,000 cars, this won the top award, which was $20,000. So that was kind of the coup de grace for this car when he won that award.
So Monster Nation, I understand that your mantra is, don't tell us, show us. Let's go. Now that's more like it.
Out on the road, this ride feels nothing like a 70-year-old car.
it's almost like driving a new car. It doesn't feel like you've done all that to it. Is that fun? Sorry, Tim. Tim didn't see my brake lights till it was too late. That was close.
Before we start to enjoy ourselves a little too much, we better get out of here. So while we drive off into the sunset, we'd like to thank Spokane's hot rod scene. And especially the gang at Tim's Hot Rods. Because if it wasn't for all of you, there wouldn't be a Monster Nation.
Don't go away, because we're going to take you out to a track where going sideways is the name of the game, and brakes are prohibited.
They handle better going sideways than they do going straight with the wheel straight forward.
And if you like that story, wait till you see this. If you even think about going out behind my back and channel surfing, I don't know what I'll do.
Monster Nation! Monster Nation! Monster Nation Pop Quiz. What motorsport takes you from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds? Slides sideways through the corners and steers right to go left. All with no brakes. It's called Speedway Motorcycle Racing. It's been popular in Europe for years, and now it's gaining fans here in the U.S. A Speedway bike is a perfect two-wheeled racing rocket. They're light and agile. They burn alcohol through big power plants, and they get the fans all revved up. These little devils duel on short dirt tracks, each race taking only a couple of minutes. This sport is king at Auburn Raceway in Northern California, and all the top riders come here to compete. Including this guy, who collects more racing trophies than Social Security checks.
I always loved motorcycles and metal. It's my monster world. I've always loved to do it. I've never changed my profession or my hobbies.
Harlan Bast is hardcore. Here's a guy who's been tweaking and racing bikes for nearly 50 years. He's competing against much younger racers, including his 17-year-old grandson, Bruce. His son, Bart, is a rising star in the sport.
Yeah, there's 3 generations of Bass, and it's pretty amazing to have a sport, you know, with all the family just keeps on going.
I think their name says it all. When anybody ever says Speedway, you always said Michael Bass, Steve Bass, or one of the Bass family. True competitors, surely the best.
Tonight, you're going to be on the 0-yard line, I'm going to be on the 30, right?
Harlan runs a family-owned welding business where they keep their bikes in tip-top shape.
This is my monster world. My life, my motorcycles, the welding shop. 3 generations we've been doing it. Mighty proud of it. Wouldn't have it no other way. I could do it forever. In fact, I probably will.
One of the essential pieces of equipment used by Harlan, Bruce, and Bart is handmade steel soles that fit over the bottom of the rider's left foot. These plates allow them to glide outrigger style for balance through the corners.
Well, these bikes here are designed strictly to go sideways, actually. They handle better going sideways than they do going straight with the wheel straight forward. And that's why you don't need no brakes, because you can scrub off the speed by laying the bike down with the wheel aimed like that. It actually serves as a brake. We're gonna get them tonight, huh?
Yeah, the whole family.
It's 8 o'clock and the grandstands are packed. Before the racers hit the track, the race director goes over a few safety rules with the riders.
Everybody's been riding really good, and for the most part, you've been staying off the walls. And I appreciate that. Good luck tonight. Let's have a good night of racing.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too, Grandpa. I haven't really got any close-to-close action with him yet, but maybe soon to come.
It'll be fun. I'll have fun trying to catch him anyway.
Grandpa Harlan and grandson Bruce, both Division II racers, get their chance now to do battle with each other and the rest of the field. Young Bruce jumps out to an early lead and is taking the curves like a pro. But this is an unforgiving sport, and if you lose your concentration, you're going down. We put a Monster Nation camera on Granddad's helmet, so let's see what the race looks like from his point of view. Well, his point of view is from last place, but his grandson Bruce is the first to see the checkered flag.
Those guys are awesome.
Couldn't catch my grandson now. He's way ahead of me.
So young Bruce Bast grabbed the victory. But what about his Uncle Bart? It's now 9 o'clock, and it's time for the First Division racers. Keep your eye on Bart, number 87. This will be quick. It's only 4 laps, and it all happens fast. Bart throttles out of the gate. He guns it to the first turn and threatens to take the lead. Here on these short tracks, they're topping out at speeds up to 50 miles an hour. Like his nephew, Bart's trying to bring home the gold. Watch how he steers sideways. Look at that footwork. And he does it. Bart Bast brings down the checkered flag, making it 2 victories for the family on this night of Renegade Racing. Bart may bring home the trophy, but it's his dad Harlan who's got all the ladies wanting his autograph.
It wasn't a bad night, not much damage, nobody hurt. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a great night of racing.
Boston and shot.
Dragsters are loud, fast, and hot. But jet-powered dragsters are way louder, way faster, and way hotter. These puppies aren't just blowing smoke, they're the real deal.
Well, the tower actually rock and rolls so bad that it'll scare you half to death. And the tower's actually been set on fire. It was a pretty scary moment.
If you think it's scary being in the tower when one of these bombs on wheels ignites, imagine what it's like being behind the wheel. And nobody knows better than this guy.
My name that everybody knows me by is Jimmy Jet Nielsen. I've been racing pretty much all my life. Been running jets since 1986. Been running funny cars before that. Pretty much whatever's around, anything that moves fast.
Jimmy knows all about moving fast. He and his jet-powered limo hold the land speed record for jet cars at 391 miles per hour. We caught up with this rocket man as he prepared to blast off at the Great Lakes Dragaway in Union Grove, Wisconsin.
The jet limousine's 15 years old. I designed it. It started out as a Mercedes 580 SEC. And then we kind of altered it, as you see. It's 30 foot long. It's the longest one that's ever been on the track. NHRA allowed me to put it on there, and so it was illegal when I first built it, but I knew I could build it. Okay, we're ready.
Although it looks like a behemoth, Jimmy's flashy ride weighs in at just over 4,100 pounds. That's 1,000 pounds lighter than your average SUV. 1/3 of that weight is taken up by the power plant, an 18,000 horsepower Westinghouse turbojet engine. It was salvaged from a U.S. Navy Banshee fighter and runs on a mixture of 120 octane gasoline and diesel fuel and spits out 7,500 pounds of thrust. And the gas mileage, get ready to be blown away. How about 120 gallons every mile? That's 44 feet per gallon. With no brakes, the limo's parachutes are the only way Jimmy can stop.
These are what I call my lifeline. These are your parachutes. These are very important. They're 16-foot military chutes. This is your emergency chute, and that's your main. On your parachute, you don't want any of your exes or your wife to be packing the chute for you. You pack your own chute. Definitely. No exes. The way I designed the headlights, when I hit the afterburner, they open up and it rams air in there, and it gives a lot more horsepower. More air. Air is horsepower on a jet. All right, suit up time. Let's rock and roll.
Jimmy's protective gear starts with a heat and flame retardant jumpsuit.
My old one's very heavy. These new ones are very light, and they can take some serious heat. And I'll tell you what, these jet cars can get it. You get a problem, they can get some major heat. You're burning pretty hot at 2,000 degrees. I don't know, hop in the oven at home and see what I mean. And we have neck braces, we have special helmets and Nomex socks, and you know, when you have a fire, I burned 2 to the ground. Now I know what a Thanksgiving turkey feels like.
Next, this Thanksgiving turkey squeezes himself into his oven. And his crew moves him to the starting line.
Now we use 3 8D Caterpillar batteries to start it, 36 volt, and they're huge and they're in the back of the truck.
That's called the umbilical cord. It's basically powering the car to power up that starter right there, that purple starter. We go from 12 volts to 36 volts, and that's how we spool the engine up.
And once you get her lit, you unplug it and run.
Atomized fuel is sprayed into the path of the engine's afterburners, ratcheting up the thrust and revving up the crowd.
What you're doing basically is you got air pumping from the compressor into the fuel tank, and you're actually making it a bomb. It's compressed fuel, so you're pumping air into it, and it's a bomb. As you go up on the throttle, your flames get tighter and more loud and banging.
When he accelerates, Jimmy will be pulling 5 Gs, a force equal to 5 times his body weight.
When you light that burner, man, it's you better be sitting straight.
At 217 miles an hour. Was that crazy or what?
From 0 to over 200 miles an hour in 7.5 seconds. Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, Monster Nation, this is Jimmy Jet. I'll see you at the racetrack.
At the Great Midwest Dragon Boat Festival in Racine, Wisconsin, we found floating dragons, dancing dragons, stuffed toy dragons, and then there was this beast. This monster is 3.5 stories tall, weighs in at 21 tons, spits slime and breathes fire. The thing shreds Pontiacs for breakfast, munches on Mercuries for lunch, and toasts a Chrysler or two for dinner. best to keep your own car in the garage because Draco the Dragonator is on the rampage. This car-crushing creation belongs to former stuntman Rev Prochnow and 75-year-old Broadway Bob Metzler.
We've eaten boats, we've eaten airplanes, we've eaten cars, motorcycles at rallies. He can pretty much devour and destroy anything. I don't think Draco will ever go totally hungry, let me tell you. At 42,000 pounds, he's far from needing a diet yet.
Originally, Draco was a piece of heavy construction equipment known as an excavator. Then he underwent an extreme makeover and became the Dragonator. The sheer force it takes to clear construction sites of trees and boulders is still evident in Draco's powerful jaws. They exert 50,000 pounds of pressure per square inch, more than enough to crush metal like tissue paper.
We have a turbo diesel in it, and we're pushing about 600 horse in the turbo diesel. So not only does he have the biggest appetite, most powerful jaws, and we also have the biggest power plant.
But according to Rev, the true power lies with the man riding atop Draco's back. Co-owner and Dragon Master, Broadway Bob.
Broadway Dragon Master! Woo! Bob is the Dragon Master. I've put a lot of people up there, sports celebrities, other celebrities, all kinds of different people, and none of them react to it as much as Bob.
I'm the Dragon Master, and I'm the boss here.
Good. He's definitely into the spirit of the dragon.
Here, Draco.
You owe me for that car! That's my car! What are you, saying?
Like two big kids, Bob and Rev love playing make-believe with their giant toy. And the crowd just eats it up. In case you're wondering, that dragon slime is actually just water. One of the show's highlights is when Rev pretends that his own car won't start. And Draco begins to eye his next meal.
Won't start! Won't start!
First, Draco takes a nibble.
No!